Our top 5 tips to help plan your wedding.
Hi, welcome to Bride Society, or back to Bride Society, depending whether you are newly engaged over the festive season or not. I'm Rebecca and this is Laura, and we have a lot of videos on our channel all to do with wedding planning, honeymoons, basically anything you can think of to do with those things. You can probably search for it on our channel. And if you can't find it, do comment below and we might make a video on it. But yeah, if you got engaged over the festive season, congratulations and Happy New Year to all of you. We thought we'd kick things off with basically our 5 kind of top tips for starting wedding planning, or just overarching for the whole wedding planning process, to mentally kind of get you going and just as a good grounding starting place to hold these things in mind whilst you're on your journey. That's kind of the principle of this video.
So, before you do anything at all, you need to sit down as the two of you to discuss what the two of you want. What is important to you as a couple for the wedding? Before you even start looking at anything, before you start looking at inspiration, before you start going down that Pinterest rabbit hole, sit down, agree what's important. Because as soon as anybody else gets involved, things can start kind of going in ways that you might not want, and then you end up compromising about maybe what things that are really important to you. So write down your non-negotiables. What are the priorities for your wedding? Is it just that it wants to be the two of you, you want to elope somewhere so you're married? Or do you want to have 500 people, ice sculptures, the whole shebang? Regardless of kind of budget and all that kind of thing, just get on the same page, essentially.
Yeah, like create a shared vision, basically, so you can both run with it, and you don't find that you're both individually planning completely different weddings to like come back and you're like, oh, I thought we were doing this, and oh, I thought we were doing that. Yeah, shared vision. Appreciate that, you can't discuss everything in one conversation, and things will come up as you go through the process, but yeah, as a starting point, yeah. Our second tip consideration is about time. So wedding planning, in the traditional, idea of what a wedding is, obviously there's many different kinds, but it will generally take longer than you maybe think it will to plan it. Don't underestimate what's involved. Whether that's one that's abroad, there's a lot of involved in that, in logistics and people, and basically as soon as you're planning any event that involves other people, it takes a lot of time, and you probably already have quite a full-time life, right? It's like at Christmas time where you're suddenly trying to like add in Christmas decorations and events and all these other kind of things on top of what is already a probably hectic life. So we're not trying to, you don't stress yourself out. So put the wedding date at a time that's actually realistic, that gives you the time to prep. Thinking about, how much you're going to be doing yourselves in that, how much you're handing over. So if you're thinking of like DIYing a lot of your wedding, like doing a lot of the details yourselves, that inevitably is going to take longer than if you're just kind of going to a venue where they're doing it all, you're not too bothered about the rest of it. And also, if you are DIYing, which we have said in many videos, those always take longer than you think they're going to. And the more guests you have, the likelihood is that you'll have obviously more of those things to make, and that multiplies quickly. So yeah, just don't underestimate it. Don't stress yourself out for no real reason. Set that deadline with plenty of time. Just be realistic. Don't stress yourself out.
But you can make it fun. So
it is fun.
It is fun. You've got to engage. It's something to celebrate.
It's a happy thing.
Yeah. So don't. I know the first 2 points have been kind of serious and a little bit kind of cautionary, but
to allow to make it fun. This is the thing.
So build into that timeline kind of downtime when you can just reconnect as a couple or stay connected as a couple, not necessarily wedding planning, but doing fun things. If you want to really embrace the kind of engaged persona, get the jumper that has like bride on it.
Get the jumper.
Do all the fun things. Like, there's a time in your life that you can enjoy, you can like celebrate with your friends and events in the run-up, and family, and everyone just who loves you can be there, and yeah, just embrace the like happiness.
Yeah, no one's making you do it.
No.
Hopefully. If they are, tell somebody. But yeah, nobody, you're not forced to have a wedding. And you know what, if the whole idea of the traditional wedding, like that whole thing sounds super stressful to you and it's not what you want, that's part of number one, having that conversation with your partner that you don't have to have that wedding, right? Like, so make it so it is something that is fun for the two of you. It's your wedding, right? That's what's important. And we're like permission, right? Like you can do that. Yes. Knowing your strengths, as it is our fourth tip. So if you are someone who is really good at crafting, DIY, then yes, maybe you want to get stuck into that stuff. If you know it's not your strength, maybe don't. Right? But other things too, like, are you good at organising, budgeting, haggling, all these things? Like, is that your strength? Is it your partner's strength? Is it your mum's strength? Like, do delegate tasks and give people their own, we've all got our own project to work on. If it's not your strength, either of your strengths, then if budget allows, and consider hiring somebody. If it's the whole thing, there are wedding planners, there's wedding day coordinators, or say if you're not good at crafts, you don't want to make the stationery yourself, you hire the person to make the stationery. So that's partly a time thing too. Yeah, if you realize you've not got the time to do all of those things, maybe some of the things, that will help with the time. But yeah, knowing your strengths, accepting what your strengths are, and working with it, so not working against yourself. Yeah, that will help with the fun. They're all connected. They are all connected.
Our fifth and final point for today is to make it about the two of you. Remember that the wedding is about the two of you joined together as this couple, forming this team and expressing that to the rest of the world, basically. So your wedding can reflect your personalities. You don't have to do the things that you think are expected of you. So again, this is going back to the permission to have the wedding however you want it, whether that is just the two of you running off somewhere and getting legally married because the thought of standing in front of lots of people terrifies you, or if you want to have something that's really meaningful to you reflected in that date, well, you can make it work and make it happen that is there, so everybody that is attending can see, oh yes, this is definitely their wedding. So yes, it's about the two of you. Have the wedding that you want, budget allowing obviously. But even if the budget is small, there are still ways to make it so personal and so special. I think the personal touches are the things that people really remember of a wedding as well, other than the two of you getting married.
They can be small. Like the cake toppers, for instance, right? Like, I mean, ours were, it sounds bizarre almost, but it was a Canadian goose with a little bow tie and a swan with a little veil, because my husband is Canadian, and so we were representing those. So yeah, just little personal touches like that I think can really like make the day. But yeah, it doesn't have to be expensive, but it can.
Yes.
So those are our sort of 5 top wedding tips to kind of get you going as an overarching thing. Obviously there's 10 billion other tips we could give you, and there are other videos on this channel. Do check those out, have a little explore, and don't be afraid to comment below, because we do have a look in there and we'll respond where we can, and hopefully create the videos that you're hoping to see. And again, congratulations on your engagement. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the future upcoming videos, and of course if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button.